Congratulations, Coach, on remaining undefeated on the season. Take us through a hard-fought win for the Flames.
It's never boring, is it? So, what you want to give credit, I think, to Middle Tennessee. They played a heck of a game. They came and obviously took it after us. I shared that they were way better than their record, and I think they showed that there. Was not obviously the cleanest game for us in a lot of areas. Here's what I'm proud of, though. Defensively, we stunk for a long time. But they found a way there in the second half, especially the fourth quarter when we needed them to make plays. They got turnovers, got big plays, and lived up to the way we should be playing defense. Proud of them. I thought offensively, you take the turnovers away. We had some obviously penalties. Moved up and down the field. There in the fourth quarter, we obviously had a chance to end the game and missed a couple plays where we had guys open here or there. And so, but you got to win challenging games. You got to take everybody's best shot. And the lesson, we talked all week that you can't allow complacency to step in. And we didn't have a great week of practice, and it showed up. We played like we didn't have a great week of practice. And fortunately, we were able to find a way to win and continue to move on and put ourselves one step closer to what we want to try to get accomplished with this team. So always proud of the win. And no matter how bad it looks, we'll take those ugly W's any day and over a pretty loss. And thankful that we got it done. Our student body was excellent once again there in the Flames quarter, and we were able to take advantage of it. And got a lot of work to do to clean up, but excited about the win.
Talk about that fourth quarter, the Flames quarter, as you've dubbed it. 45 total yards allowed in that quarter tonight, and no points again. 6 points all season long. What is it about the fourth quarter that gets your defense to step up at the right time?
Well, I think we need to start it in the first, don't we? Probably, so we don't have to worry about it as much. But you go back to your conditioning, you go back to your training. I told the team you fall back on your training in times of crisis, right, and your preparation. And so I think we've emphasized that getting here in the spring, emphasized that the Flames quarter is our quarter. And that we have to own that and win that quarter, and so it's a mentality, and I think too, especially here at home, you get that don't stop believing going, and those those phones going, and everybody's getting excited, and it's an intimidating thing, and I think it's a mentality that we've worked hard to create, and our guys have bought into that, and so we got to try to make it all the other three quarters too.
Big point in the game there, it's third down. They get the stop and then the penalty after that. Tell me about the decision to take the shot at the end zone when Caden's not having his best night throwing the ball, but you and Coach Corn just take me through that dynamic and going to the shot play there.
Yeah, that was obviously a big call because it was fourth and whatever there, and so you had to make a decision. And then once they got the penalty there, we hadn't connected on some, and they were begging us to throw the ball. They were begging us, and we had missed some of those. Whether it was a drop or just missed some, but we knew we had that. We knew we had the matchup we wanted, and we thought that was the best time to let it rip. And he made a nice throw. CJ made a nice route and catch, and obviously that gave us a lead and we were able to hold on.
And then the turnovers tonight playing a big factor again. You end up with one more than they do. You end up with one more score than they do.
Yeah, that's the name of the game, right? Getting stops, getting people off the field, and the turnovers. We obviously created some there. The Portland had the interception, the fumble, and I can't remember the other one they had. Was it another fumble? Maybe. But ours were the devastating right out of the gate. Right out of the gate. I'll tell you all that story one day. Right out of the gate, and then obviously the fumble there. When we're out of halftime, we get a great stop, and we got a first down and got big plays there. And so the disappointment, we turned it over and we allowed 14 points off for turnovers. When you turn it over, you hope you hold them to field goals, and so we got to stop turning over. But if our defense continue to take the ball away, it gives us a chance to win. But we have to play better if we're going to win any game again.
Rushed for 400 yards tonight. Caden goes for 160. Seems like that just is a reoccurring theme for this team this season.
Yeah, our whole game plan was, you want to be as balanced as possible. You want to hit your shots. You want to do all those things. But the way they were playing us, especially early, they were keeping everybody deep and saying we're not going to give up any deep shots. That was their plan from the first half on. And so we just decided, all right, we're going to run it, and do some things and still take your chances. And we were able to do that. And when you don't have your best, in the other areas, if you can run like that, it still gives you a chance. And that allowed us to stay in the game because, one, it kept them off the field when we weren't playing good defense, and we were able to control the ball and control the clock until we could, make it more of a game that we want to try to play.
So is the intention to run that many, to have that much of a run versus pass ratio tonight, or did you kind of sense the flow of the game dictated that?
No, you want to take what they give you. We've had some games where we've thrown it more, but the last couple weeks, the way people have tried to play us because we've hit so many big shots. Our receivers, some of them are averaging 20-something yards a catch and all that. They don't want to give up those. And so if you're going to play soft, then we're going to try our best to try to run it down your throat and see if we can control the ball. And so if that's what a team wants to do to us, we're going to try to do that. Also, you playing a team like them that was explosive. You saw that. They had a lot of receivers that we had trouble tackling. You want to try to keep them off the field and limit the opportunities they have. So it's part of trying to win, and we want to try to be as balanced as possible. And if you go back, we dropped a touchdown pass. We had another one there at the end that barely overthrew Sibley. You hit on a couple of those, and you're whatever we had 400 something. You're probably 240 throwing. Everybody's high fiving me, Coach. That's awesome. Everybody's like, why are you running the ball so much? Because we want to win.
Coach, what does it say about you mentioned this before, what does it say about your program? You didn't play your best game, but you still got the W. What does that say about your team and your program?
Well, I think our team's resilient, obviously, and I think they're buying into what we believe in and what we preach. We almost learned a Bible lesson. We got really close to touching that fire, and it about cost us. And hopefully, I'm glad we're learning in a win. That we have to learn how to practice and not take things for granted. I told the team last night in a meeting there that I'm an '80s. I love '80s music, and one of the songs there was "Don't Know What You Got Till It's Gone." And like I referenced losing an opponent that we were better than because we thought we were better and we didn't prepare, and that's where all our championships came from. And I talked about that is that, man, we're on such a special thing going. Don't take it for granted, But I give credit to them. It's them. They showed resiliency, and they believe in each other. And I think we never think we're out of a game, which is good. And hopefully we can continue to do that.
Seems like every big defensive play you look up and it's Briley Green coming up with a PBU interception, whatever. How important and how crucial has he been for the team on defense?
He's been great, and he wasn't with us in the spring. Obviously he plays baseball, and then he was hurt, really, hurt his back. So he practiced with us a little bit, but he never really scrimmaged, and so we did a lot of individual. And so we'd obviously heard about him and watched video from last year on him. But for us, it was all going to be brand new. And this fall camp, obviously had a great fall camp. Your punt returner is who you trust the most on your team, and he's our punt returner. We trust him to make great decisions. Obviously, he's back there in center field, which is natural for him because of being a baseball player, and he's always got a knack for the ball, and he finds it. And he's an all-conference player, no doubt.
Coach, with that Billy Lucas touchdown in the second quarter, you had Rick Weaver in there on the lead block. How long had you guys been cooking that up for him to contribute offensively?
The Dream Weaver. That's what we call him, the Dream Weaver there. And so, when did we start practice for? I don't know what day it is. So when did we start? We got back from Jacksonville State on whatever time we started practice from, whatever. Day one, whatever that was. We do short yardage goal line. That's like their first one. And so the way they were lining up, it gave us an idea like, hey, we want to run it's an ISO play. And Rick he's a fire hydrant, right? If he walked in here, y'all should actually make him like the player of the game. That'd be unbelievable. But walk in here, and he's a national champion wrestler for us, strong as an ox, and appreciates everything. And we thought he's so hard to block he's on our show team and stuff. We thought, man, he can ISO somebody. And if y'all see that play, he knocked that guy. That guy gave everything he got, and Rick didn't move, and it was awesome. So I'm excited for him. Think about this, for him, walked on the football team in the spring in a tryout. Made the team, and he probably made the team because I didn't know any better. Hey, come on, because I was trying to hold on to everybody at that time. Everybody's trying to leave, and just did exactly what you're supposed to do. Worked hard. Doesn't say much. He's very soft spoken. You can barely hear him, and then he's became such a great teammate. Our O-line hates him because he goes so hard all the time, but they were the first ones celebrating for him, and that's what makes football so special. You get opportunities, and that young man, no matter what he does the rest of his time here, he will remember that for the rest of his life. man, how special is that for him, and his family? It's awesome. It's going to make me tear up.
He's going emotion there. You think about handing it to him the next time, maybe?
Not yet now. Come on. One at a time there, one at a time.
Nice to have chunk yardage plays, Coach, but to be as efficient as you were in the red zone 5-5, can you speak to the concerted effort to cash in at that part of the field there?
That was actually one of our whole keys to the game. We've not been great down there as far as getting touchdowns, right? We've scored. I don't know what our percentages are, but that was a huge emphasis because we knew, as I said, they're a good team. If you look who they've played and their schedule, and they've scored points, and I tell our guys all the time, man, that target, the more you win, that target gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and people can make their season by knocking the Flames off. And we needed to score. We needed every one of them. And so that was huge for us. And one thing that we really did emphasize this week of scoring in the red zone. You do it every week, but guys, we cannot settle for field goals. We cannot do it. And it was great to see something you really emphasized come to fruition.
One more from me. The penalties tonight, is that a concern, or is that just kind of how the game was called tonight on both ends?
It's a major concern. We had a block in the back. We had a hold. The hold was just foolish. The block in the back, we'll see what happens. There, I think we might have. I need to watch that one. But some guy hit somebody late. We get in his face. We get a penalty there. They had an offsetting penalty, which I don't agree with. But I don't agree with any of the calls. And so it is, because what it does is it stops momentum, and it's undisciplined. And one thing that we pride ourselves on, or is one of our core values, number core value 2 in our program, is being disciplined. And when you don't do that, it hurts your team, and it shows up. We had a pass interference penalty, and okay, all right, they call pass interference. Well, then we want to talk to their sideline. It's foolish, and so it's foolish, and we got to get that stopped. I have to, because I'm responsible for that, and so we'll get that stopped starting Thursday.
All right, one more for a question.
Coach, Quentin.
No, we got 2 more. I got all night.
All right.
Let's go.
When you piggybacking off the Brylan Green thing, you've got good performance from him down the stretch, and Singleton too, guys like that. How much resolve do you think they have down the stretch in tight situations like this to get the job done, because they've done it several times?
Yeah, I think they the confidence is high. I think when you go do something and you've done it consistently, you believe you're going to do it every time, right? And it's like when I went and tried to date my wife, and I asked her, hey, let's do this, and she gave me the go-ahead. Next time I'm asking again, right? Because I'm confident. Same thing. They made it, and now they believe every time. They want the ball, right? Let it come to me. And I think that shows you, one, confidence, and they don't get down on themselves if somebody makes a play. That was huge. That's the resolve they have, and we have to, because, we put a lot of stress on that defensive backfield. We're in a lot of man-to-man coverage, a lot. And they get tested all the time. And I want to shout out Preston Hodge. Y'all probably didn't know this, but we're down 2 corners. We're down 2 corners that have played a lot of football. And we were getting toasted, to be honest with you. Preston Hodge, who plays a nickel whatever for us, we moved him out to corner. And he did a fantastic job. So I want to give him a shout-out.
Coach, Quentin Cooley had 24 carries tonight, and that was by far the most in the running back room. Is that going to be the strategy going forward?
Well, right now, we're banged up a little bit there. Obviously, if you watched, what's his name, Billy. If you watch Billy, he's still limping around a little bit, not completely healthy. So we're trying to give him a little bit. James Joyner came in and got some carries. He got what? James got 7. But Cooley's the one that needs to be our workhorse. Is especially the way people are playing us, and so. If that's what we got to do, that's what we're going to have to do. I'd love for him not to have as many. If Billy can get back healthy, we can maybe start splitting those a little bit, maybe 60-40. But James coming in got some big carries for us, which was big. Proud of him. We're going to have to just figure it out the way we are with some injuries and some of those. That's just life right now.